Hey guys, thank you for joining me today for the live stream chat with Robbie Strike, hashtag YouTube, hashtag VPN, hashtag Free Starlink TV, Saturday, October 10th at 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m. Yay! So, we're live. Brand new camera supplied by Thor Broadcast. For doing this live stream, so I'm all excited about that. It's like a robot camera. Has a remote control. You can look down. You can look up. There's the remote that controls it. So we don't have a cameraman here, but at least I got this thing going. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Don't need to see me that close. There's the Ultimate Warrior. Hell yeah, play with there. Go over there and zoom in on the Ultimate Warrior. And Mean Gene Okerlund. And the Iron Sheik. Okay. You can see the mess behind this room here with the kids' playroom here. So I'll zoom in and just pan that way. Yeah, has a bit jolty movements, but I love this thing. I think it's so cool. So is it all? Jonathan's been posting here in the chat room here. Jonathan McKee's on today, and Alan K. How's it going today for the live stream? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. It looks like the levels are doing okay. You don't see the chat screen in the live view, like on your other side of your YouTube thing, or just like this thing here. Now I was playing with the with OBS. I love OBS. OBS is so fun. I got this whole video switcher for doing video production, and I got a couple new streaming cameras, courtesy of Thor Broadcast, which I'll be doing a video on, doing a review. So I'm kind of using this live stream as a guinea pig for these cameras. So I'm very excited about that. Tim says we can hear you. Cool. So, so is there not much free-to-air news? I've been working on videos about streaming movie services a lot this week, so I did not really spend much time scanning and looking for stuff. I just, kept things on where I normally am, normally am viewing. So, but yeah, I found a few streaming services that were pretty cool. Tubi TV, not YouTube, but Tubi, Tubi, which I've done a video on, and it was pretty cool. Like if you're like me and you're cheap and you don't want to pay for a service and you don't mind the ads because like you're gonna get up, get a drink, go out and get a snack between movies. It doesn't overly bother me if it's free. I know some people are very entitled, and that means you have to pay. So yeah, it's just the way things go. CP Wolf asks, "Do I know about the game Dragon's Lair? Dragon's Lair." I understand, from what you say, that there was a Laserdisc video game back in the, I believe it came out in the 80s. Never actually saw a machine that that played that, but I remember it was kind of cool technology. Laserdisc was I never had the Laserdisc. DVDs, of course, that was a very common format, which is the after Laserdisc. But Laserdisc were like records, like the size of an LP record. Kind of like if you guys, anyone out there might know of I'm a Gen Xer, so when I was young, I had access to one of these machines. Was a CED, an RCA CED video disc, which was like these caddy discs where half the movie would play on one side, and then you had to put the caddy back into the player, flip it around, and watch the other half. And I believe Laserdisc was the same way, where it only had a certain amount of time, 40 minutes or so. I don't know the exact amount of time per side. So yeah, this is the chat room. You guys control the narrative here. Whatever you guys want to talk about, bring it on up. We welcome free chat, free open discussion here. Free open discussion is welcome here. Unlike other places you may find, but there's free open discussion here. That looks really bad. How did that get so bad? Oh, maybe he pressed something. Sorry, I'm just working on this camera here. I had it all set up and now it's all been botched. Now I'll just turn off. Turn back on. Yeah, I had a second camera I wanted to show you guys, but I think I just turned it off and botched it. Let's see if it'll come back on OBS. There, green light's on. I look very puzzled there. Yeah. Live video. Anyway, back to the chat room. So yeah, do you have an Elgato Stream Deck? I don't know what that is. No, I don't have that. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good today. Started off this morning. My family went to the pumpkin patch. Picked ourselves out a Halloween pumpkin. We went to Fruition Farms here in Kingston. What else did we do? There was a corn maze there. Went in there and got lost for a while. And everyone's trying to social distance. So you're kind of lost. You got your family and you're trying to social distance from other families. Quite the adventure. I think the chat's out of frame. Could be. And go here. And I can move it. No, that's the wrong one. I can actually move the chat a little bit better here. Here. How's that? See what's going on a little bit better. So I got a warning. Everything seems to be going okay with the stream, although I believe other people are using devices right now. So I don't know if my upload stream will be the best with this connection, but we'll do it with what we can. As long as the audio holds up, I'm happy with that. This is it doesn't have to be 50 frames per second. This goes through at 720p, and unless you're watching on a huge TV, which doesn't really matter. Especially on this screen here. This screen's an old monitor. It's an old TV screen. Like it's about 10 years old, and I can't even read the text on this. I use this monitor, which is even still like a 720p monitor. CP Wolf says it was 1 hour on one side of Laserdisc. Okay, yeah, that's probably what it was. I think CED discs were 40 something. I remember I had the Karate Kid on CED, and it was like 2 discs to have the full movie. of the original Karate Kid on that, and so like they didn't have anything extra on the other side. Like they didn't have extra features or anything like that. So they had like most of the Karate Kid in like the last 20 minutes, like the you're the best around, the tournament. That part of the movie is on the second disc that came with the Karate Kid. Tim Ritchie says, setting up an RV receiver. Any suggestions for a receiver? There's two that I highly recommend. One is, got it behind me here, box of it anyway. I got the Edison Mile. You can get, I don't know if Tech 2000s has their stocks stocked yet. I did have a link on my shop, a referral link, so where you can find one of these Edison Miles. They are Linux receivers, so I highly suggest if you have like a little bit of background in Linux, it would be a big help with that. And if another receiver I recommend, I have a link on my freesatellitetv.net shop that will have a link for the Amico Mini, which is I recommend that one because of its user friendliness. Okay, so that would be a good suggestion. I'd recommend. And there's a little thing that says how to set up a motor dish that popped up there. This must be like pulling the data from the last live stream. Secure your dish down. Did somebody have a dish blow down on them? I had that happen to me. I had a dish on a tripod on an apartment building, and yeah. Patrick says the video's fine. Cool. I had another camera here, but it's froze on me. I don't know how I'm going to get back. Using OBS. OBS is not the most friendly to multiple video sources, so I was having two cameras, like a switcher, like something that would cost thousands and thousands of dollars, which I'm doing with free OBS software. But seems to be OBS is glitched in the live stream. I'd probably be able to get it working again if I restarted OBS, but I'm just going to keep going with OBS. The North Coast Workshop says HD is great, but 480 doesn't bother me. Yeah, and I've had people, and I've had a discussion in a chat room today where someone's saying that they're not getting in Safari. Oh, Safari! I don't use Safari in Linux. You couldn't view 4K video on YouTube. It's like, or if you're in a web browser, you probably don't need 4K video, or on your iPhone or something like that. But 4K video, where 4K video is good is if you're looking at it on like a 50-inch screen, just because it's such a high resolution. But you really don't notice a difference unless you're viewing it on a large screen. So yeah, there's a whole lot of consumer hype stuff that. Yeah, and this thing is like cable companies and satellite providers, Dish Network, Bell, and places like that, they'll have a few 4K channels, but that will take up a lot of their bandwidth. So for like a broadcaster to go to 4K, it's not like something I see it's happening really fast. Where with the digital conversion, where we got HD over TV, that happened in the mid 2000s. That pretty much most TV stations broadcast in ATSC 1.0 whatever in North America, which does make picture quality a lot better if you got good signal, if you don't have dropouts. But like, I got an outdoor antenna. A lot of people say they hate digital TV because they're using an indoor antenna, and yeah, I find with an outdoor antenna it works great. Patrick says, any non-Linux box still available anymore? I don't know. I think everything Linux, like everything that you buy now, software-wise, is going to have like a form of Linux in it. You've got an Android phone. It's got a Linux kernel running your Android phone. Like, I don't know about operating systems and all that. I'm not a computer science person. I do use Linux, but I'm not a person that knows how to program or do anything like that. I just use it because I want to use it for multimedia production, like this thing, and editing videos in Kdenlive, and going on YouTube, and going on Facebook. So for having a free operating system and free software, it's great for those things. And it works. Sometimes it works better on old equipment. And one thing with Linux, I highly recommend, if you have an old computer, an old laptop, I got an old laptop over here, got an old laptop hanging around your house and you don't use it anymore, install Linux Mint or Ubuntu on it and just tinker around with it. You might find some rebirth uses out of it using some old software, or you'll get more use out of an older computer. If you have, I know lots of people, they've bought a computer and Windows glitched on them. So, yeah, and they don't want to spend the money to fix it. They just rather buy a new one because it was so outdated. Put Ubuntu on it as an operating system, a version of Linux that's built for older laptops, and you can still maybe use the web browser, maybe run Sega Genesis video game emulators on it, stuff like that. Jonathan says he's got 1080p 24-inch monitor with VGA. Yeah, still lots of VGA being used these days, that's for sure. And Patrick, another thing too is with the pan side, one thing I want to warn people about, if they're on eBay, I was kind of looking on eBay the other day, and I noticed for like $80, $90 people were selling ViewSat receivers and Sonic View receivers and CoolSat receivers. And only thing I want to tell people, if you're hearing my voice and you're getting into free-to-air satellite, don't waste your money on those. Those are old, outdated MPEG-2 satellite receivers. Save your money. Buy an Amico Mini. Buy an Edison Mio. I love my Edison Mio. My Edison Mio, I'm able to, on this monitor here, I'll be working here, and I can stream the news. I don't have the satellite receiver here downstairs at this desk, but I can, through this computer, I'll stream it, have it on this monitor, a news program, usually watching some news programming on KU band satellite. I'm going to have it on here, and I'm Facebook, YouTubing on this side. So that's one thing I really like about these Linux receivers. As I said, I did some tutorials that will really help if you did buy one of those receivers. So it's just there. I guess what I'd say is there's like a little bit of more of a learning curve in operating one of those. But if you have patience, there's a lot of bells and whistles that will pay off in that. And plus you get 4K reception, the one 4K channel, which is NASA, over on 127 West. The North Coast Workshop with all of his satellite dishes says, had a couple of loose panels from a 10-footer I'm working on blown down by the wind yesterday. So were those panels ones that you did to replace with one of your dishes, or did it just you put it up and then it broke? Jonathan McKee says, guy asked, any suggestions? Yeah, secure it down. If you do have an RV, are you planning on putting it on top of the RV? Get something that secures the satellite dish there because of the wind. If you're going to put it on the ground, ground it. Just get like one of those, you get them on eBay, I don't know, 3-foot copper pipe thing and some wire, and secure your dish there. That's, use proper grounding because lightning happens. It's good to have it grounded. I've done that with my TV antenna and with my big C-band satellite dish. I got a couple of them off eBay. I think it was eBay or Amazon, one of the two. Patrick says 4K H.265 takes the space of HD H.264. Yeah, and it will be like if you have an MPEG-4 satellite receiver that you're able to use. Eventually, I don't know how soon, but eventually I do see the future where they'll have more and more channels that are H.265, even standard definition channels. The amount of bit rate, like even on Galaxy 19, a lot of those channels are MPEG-2, like TBN and channels like that. They could actually use the same bandwidth but increase it even to H.264 and have a much better picture quality, hopefully sound quality too. Because some of those channels, like Smile of the Child, if you watch Smile of the Child on Galaxy 19, and then if you watch it on C-band on 125 West, the quality of Smile of a Child is way better. Even though it's standard definition, the picture quality is way better on C-band because they're using a higher digital bit rate. I think it still is MPEG-2, but they're using a higher bit rate than what they're using on Galaxy 19. Oh yeah, and it's almost like the panels were pressed against the fence, and when the wind came along, it just knocked them right out. Okay. Jonathan McKee says the receiver has a built-in polarity control and actuator control. I wish they still had it in MPEG-2 format. Yeah, I don't see them doing that. Titanium Satellite had a dish mover that also, I believe, did the polarity control at one time, but they don't manufacture those. I believe that's what that dish mover did. And I've had a lot of people ask me, is there any dish movers available? I don't know if they're up yet. Always check Tech 2000, Rick's Wildfeed. Rick's Wildfeed has stores. And also on eBay, it'll probably pop up there. Yeah. So yeah, back onto my cameras here. I don't know if you want to hear about this, but hey, I'll bring it up here. Just gonna drag this guy over here and this over here. Chrome. Oh, this camera's working again. Good. Can I flip it? So here's the other camera. The balance is really off though, and so it started working again in OBS. And let's make this bigger here. So OBS is tinkered around with it, but I can also zoom. I'll do an autofocus. Zoom in on this camera, which I have it upside down right now. I think that's pretty neat. These features that might be messing up my other camera here, because these remotes will control both cameras if you're not too careful. There's a way of flipping it. Oh yeah, right here, that button. That's what happened. It's like the killer balloons with rabies. It won't flip. Flip this one. There. Anyway. Try it. Anyway, so this is the camera I'm using. Not for this shot. Actually, for this shot, I'm using this one here, this 4K camera. So this one it has an HDMI output and a USB output here, and I don't know if I can cut to it. Oh, it's still got all frozen up here, so it's just frozen on here. It's OBS is having an issue with that. I don't want to screw up my whole live stream, so I won't mess around with that. Yeah, So those are the cameras I'm playing around with today. But it's cool to be able to have all this for video production. So I guess one small channel update that I'm doing is my next upcoming videos might be a little bit more geared toward video production stuff, cameras. I got a few camera reviews I'd like to do a video on. If there's free-to-air news, please send me an email or contact me and let me know too. I will cover it either on the Facebook group for North American free-to-air. Should pull up that group here so we can see it. Whoops, that's chat room back. Yeah, I moved the wrong window. Just gonna key it in here. Facebook, because I always gotta promote the group here. So if you're new to free to air or streaming services, I found with Pluto TV was great. I mean, you do got to use a VPN in my country to get Pluto TV to work, but it was really cool to check that out. I think I tried that out before, and oh, what's the big deal with this? There's only 10 channels, and I wasn't using my VPN. So another one people have recommended to me was Peacock TV, but it actually, Peacock's pay TV. It's pay streaming service. You gotta for Peacock, it's like $4.99 a month. So hopefully I wasn't being rude or condescending there. I said Peacock is free. Oh, okay. I went and looked at it, and I went to watch a wrestling. There's like WWE wrestling, not the network, but where we go. Not the network, but what would I say? Just want to invite everybody here. There we go. Close that up. Wasn't the network on WWE network, but it was like programs that I probably would air on the WWE network, documentaries and stuff. So here's over on Facebook. Join this group, and if you do join this group, please, I'll ask 2 questions. Are you in North America? If you are, say yes. And I will also ask what satellites are you interested in receiving. Just say free satellite TV, just so I know that you're watching this and not a bot or someone that's coming in to promote satellite sales in an area that's not North America, which we get at times, and then they get booted out. Yeah, and so that's. And I'll put this guy back here in this window here. Maybe I need more screens because I would love to do live streaming with call-ins. And I was almost setting up getting this configured, like if you wanted to call in through Facebook. Find me on Facebook, my Robbie.Strike.3 on Facebook. And send me a friend request there, and you can call me up with the voice video chat. Still having issues with OBS though, how to get that to work properly. I've been playing around with that this week, but it didn't work out the greatest. Okay, so got some more questions here. Same with Daystar big difference in picture quality on Daystar from 97, and Daystar's on a few C-band. I think they were on KU band like on 125 or 27 west. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Louis asks, if a person gets a 10-foot satellite dish, is there any free channels anymore? And the answer is yes, lots of free channels on a 10-foot satellite dish. Check out my video. Please subscribe to this channel and click on the bell notification. I've done a video, C-band channels is the term, if you're going to search it out. C-band satellite. So if you're looking for the C-band channels, there is hundreds of channels on C-band. I'd say there's hundreds of channels on KU-band, but on KU-band, there's a lot of foreign and international channels of those channels, particularly on Galaxy 19. But with a C-band dish, it just seems to be the nature of the way things work in North America is most of the broadcast, over-the-air broadcast type channels, and if there's a few channels that will be like on cable, pay TV, I think it might even be on Pluto TV, that are free. Like they all have commercials, like even cable channels, like the top like here in my area, I would have to pay for the premium cable channels. I don't know if you call those channels in the States, but like Discovery, History Channel, channels like that, and there are commercials in it. So they're double dipping the prices. On Pluto TV, they have like the Pluto TV dollar store equivalent of the History Channel. So it was kind of cool that they had that. It's not the History Channel, it's a History Channel. It's kind of like, you go to the store and you buy a product and you're getting a different brand name. Which is kind of good that I'm seeing that in broadcast because it's diluting the monopoly. I just typed in Jonathan McKee. Just type in Dish Finder. I use Satellite Finder, but the video where I did the HH motor setup, I went through that with the half-hour video where I set up a satellite dish with a motor, a small KU-band dish, 36-inch, 90 centimeter, 36-inch, 3-foot dish that I set up this summer. I used the HH motor, and that I believe it was Satellite Finder. It was a free app, had ads, but an app like that, you put it on your phone, you use it for like the amount of time you need to use it for like 10 minutes or whatever, and then delete it. It's a free app. I paid for Dish Pointer, but really I wouldn't go by Dish Pointer. I wouldn't use your cell phone to do it. Get a good receiver. The easiest and cheapest way is get a small TV set in your satellite receiver, aim your dish, make sure you lock onto the signal. Don't do a whole lot of running inside, back out, moving the dish. Well, if you want the exercise, I've done that. But the little handheld meters are great for setting up a dish. Patrick asks, why is PCI SAT cards market never took off for FTA in our area? Yeah, probably because they were probably more susceptible to hacking, so the companies just didn't bother doing that because they would pay for all the transponder time and then everyone would be hacking it and getting it for free. So that's probably, even in parts of the world where they have that, there's a big underground business for those cards to... where they're being hacked, and there's a black market that's hurting the people that are trying to make money off of it. I don't know, because they're trying to sell subscriptions. That's what I think we should happen in North America. What would be great for a company like Orbi TV if Orbi TV had an extra transponder and had a whole whack of free channels. So would have a premium package with Orbi TV. So say you had Orbi TV, and this is an idea. Orbi TV, you can steal it from me. Just mention my name on your Give me a channel on one of these free channels. Orbi TV could have like 10 or 20 free channels, and then they, during their ads, just push Orbi TV. You know, and that's how they would have a free version, and then they can get use the commercials during that to promote their free content. Have an online version of Orbi where you can go to their website and do a streaming option, or get their satellite. And I think with Orbi though, they want to tap into that market where a lot of people are in rural areas and don't have access to high-speed internet. So it's where people are still going to want to use satellite TV. Pedro asks, hey Pedro, what's my go-to FTA receiver? So I'm pretty much most of the time using the Edison Myo and my Z Gamma, because I have receivers in two different rooms. And so I really like that because with my Edison and my Z Gamma, I'm able to stream it right to this monitor through this computer with the web interface. I could show you what the web interface looks like. I'm just going to key it in here. .68.1, and it's raining out now too. Hopefully it loads up. Okay. So I'll bring this guy over here, and I'll bring this over here. Okay. All right. So here I am. I'm on my web interface for my Z Gamma, and so what I can do here is I can actually stream CNC World to this monitor using VLC, and I got all my favorites for Galaxy 19, although I bumped my Galaxy 19 dish, so I'm not sure if I can see it right now. But this is what I use to stream it. So I'll pull up this interface, click on the channel, click here on the box here at the top of the screen, and it will load up and it will play. Now, it's pouring rain now, so all these are KU band channels, so it's probably not going to come in. But that's pretty much what I use for that. Put this guy back here. Yeah, it is really raining out now. Okay. Hey Minecraft, how's it going? And then I use a X2 FTA box. Never heard of it, but interesting. I'll have to, sometimes I go through this whole stream and people mention things, and I gotta go watch it back at some point. Well, I'm on the. Here, I'll go to this shot. Yeah, so that, if you want to look at this, I'll show you what I use here for video production. This is OBS. This is me streaming with OBS right now. There's my mic levels here. I have my desktop audio down. As you remember when I had an interview of Eric from Farpoint Farms a while back, I had this up, but I actually had like my YouTube player, the preview playing the audio in the background, so I got this wicked nasty feedback. And I'm going to transition back to that. But I'm a big fan of OBS. It's a great program. I've been using this to do a lot of my live streaming. Not live streaming, but like tutorial videos where I'm trying to show how things can be done on a computer. wonder if I can. Hopefully this won't crash it. Oh, there's thunder out there now too. Can't get it working. Bummer. So I wanted to do a demo here, but it all crashed on me today. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back. So here's a little message from Velcro.
Velcro, 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 Velcro. Velcro was invented by a man who was walking through the woods one day, and he got some burrs caught to his leg, and that's how he invented Velcro. Velcro, 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 Velcro. I like playing with my Velcro. It sticks to my clothes.
There, back.
Velcro, 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 Velcro. Velcro can be used in outer space by the astronauts. They use it so things won't float away. Velcro, Velcro. Hey, look at my shoes. They stay on. It's thanks to Velcro. Velcro, 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 Velcro. Velcro, 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 Velcro. Stop! Take a fit!
Okay, the 17-year-old version of myself would be very proud of that. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, that was one of my early video editing projects back in the 90s. Editing that in Windows 95. Actually, I just sort of did it. Did it for the fun of it. There was no like project reason. I made like a whole VHS video, like an hour, 40-minute video or something like that. And I wanted to go get a cable access show. There was no YouTube at the time, and now it's like, well, it's there, but YouTube, any comedy skits, YouTube just limits the advertised revenue on them. So I haven't really been able to do as much, or well, it's also I'm more into doing the technology videos now. So, all right, I'm just gonna cut here. So, always remember, if you're out in the apocalypse or, ice storm or whatever, have a hand crank AM FM shortwave radio. Is this one grunting? Yeah, this one's grunting. I love this thing. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. Crank radio. So if we go to the thing here. Oh, copyright YouTube. So anyway, crank the thing up. The flashlight too would run off the battery power. I don't know if it's a battery or adapter. There we go. So there. So if your battery's dead, you got like a little flashlight in the radio. Blinding me. Yeah, great to have for a survival kit. So yeah. Another thing too is I've done a video on this. This is the Thor Rf Modulator. What this does, it turns an HD signal from an HDMI source into a coax cable. So what I do with one of these is I just use the one channel. I don't have the multi-channel one. But what I do is I have an HDMI source that goes into from my satellite receiver, and I'm able to play on this TV, on any old TV that has an ATSC tuner, like an old 10-year-old TV. Oh, this TV behind me here, I do have a digital tuner plugged into it, so I can send TV downstairs to this TV with one of these. These set-top digital over-the-air receiver boxes. You can get these at thorbroadcasting.com. And I have a link of all these on my freedair.tv store. Yeah, it's like the shopping channel. But anyway, yeah, this is a pretty cool device. I love this for that being able to send the satellite receiver downstairs through the antenna cable, because I have an antenna, TV over the air antenna, and I also have the satellite channels. And you can, if you wanted to, you can get a security camera. Not one of these because they don't really have an HDMI output, but any kind of security, one of these Thor broadcast cameras for a security camera, and send it to your TV set. But one of these would probably be a little bit more cheaper way of doing it. One of these Heimlink cameras, which goes right to your cell phone. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the chat room. Maybe next time I'll play that video. It's on my channel at the very bottom. Like, I think I uploaded that in 2006, and I shot that in like 2002 or 3 maybe. I should have wrote like when I did it at the end of the video. So, okay. I don't know if this camera is going to work. I wonder if I unplug it and plug it back in. Would that crash my computer? We're getting to the end of the show, so if I crash, I want to try this camera out. Plug it and plug it back in. Maybe that'll get it to work. Or make the stream crash. There, plugged it back in. It's like if it were to fly out with OBS plugged into this thing. Okay. Now it's gonna go to the chat room. Still, it's OBS. It's not necessarily the camera. I don't know if I could delete the camera and take the video capture device and delete it. Yeah, and then go and add a capture device. Add a video capture device. There you go, VO for Linux. Yep. You see, no. Oh, it's conflicting with the HDMI camera. Probably is what's happening. Make sure it's at 720p frame rate at 30 frames per second. No, it's not coming up. Yeah. It botched it in OBS for some reason. See, oh, there it is there. Here. So you got it here. Control, fill. There we go. Okay, well, yeah. Although the camera looks awful. I'm looking at it here. And menu, like the white balance, it is red. Camera here is awful. Like everything's red. It's like Kane is coming to attack me. I'm gonna show you this. Oh, I triggered that. Dang. I triggered the screen display. So yeah, here's the camera that I'm using right now, and in OBS it's just let's go to default. There we go. Maybe something got pressed. There we go. There's the camera. Just go back to default. See, I'm doing everything here at once. There we go. Hey guys, gonna make everyone dizzy here. So there's the OBS going in the background. So there's my camera that I'm using right now, and it's like the robot camera. Just mounted it right there on the tripod. That's the Thor broadcast camera that I'm checking out for this stream. Now, you can see this one that I'm using here. I'll switch a camera view. There. So there's what I'm using right now. This camera here. This is like a 4K camera. It has a USB and a HDMI output. It's a very wide angle lens. It's built for this one's mainly with the idea of conferencing. So I'm just testing that out right now. Another thing I like about them is they have the bottom. It has a nice tripod mount. I'm looking at the ceiling right now. So that's what I'm going to be testing these guys out this week. And I'll set up this webcam here. Why am I... Oh, this is too much of the ceiling. I need some sort of a tripod for this guy. Thought it would look better before when I had it working. I'm gonna have to switch to it. There we go. And I had the chat room working earlier, but not so much now. Anyway, so I'm playing with cameras. I love playing with cameras. Somebody should give me like a channel on Galaxy 19 to run a TV station there. I'll put professional wrestling and technology tutorials there, and you know, you can see the over here. You can see the lag on YouTube. So the video goes out to the internets, to wherever the YouTube servers are, comes back under, and it's not using satellite, it's using like fiber optic cable and things like that. And then it goes, I think I just cut to my bright camera scene. It was my fault with not setting it up properly here. All the way back to here. So yeah, it's, okay. Your oldest video. I don't know. We got a video camera back. Well, actually, I have film cameras. My grandfather did home videos, like not home videos, 8mm home videos back in. He first got it in the early 70s, but I was born in the later 70s. But yeah, a lot of I have footage from when I was little, all the way up to when he got a camcorder in 1988. When I was anyway, and eventually he gave me the camcorder, which I made some of my own videos with when he got a newer camcorder. And yeah, that's how I think that's what got me into video, is my grandfather Morris helping me out. Why not use a VHS camera just for kicks? There is a channel, a vlogger out there. I don't know if you've seen him, Weird Paul. He has a channel. He sticks with his old analog. I think he's using a 8mm camera that he's recording with. But he still does all of his vlogs. He even streams live on Twitch using a camera that is like from probably the 90s, and he's had his old original camcorder that he uses. So maybe there's other YouTube video creators. I like the term YouTube or video creators better than YouTubers, because I find that YouTubers is a bit of a derogatory term. But I know that it's just what it is. What it is. It's become a term where it's just what people call it now. Dan Pete asks, are the C-band dishes too heavy to put up yourself? My mesh dish was not heavy at all. I carried the box in myself, like with all for the mesh part. It's just that it's big. Like when you're dealing with an 8-foot or a 10-foot dish, it's probably helpful to have a few people help you lift it. So yeah, I don't think they're heavy unless you get like even my the Black Beauty that I scrapped because nobody wanted it. I offered it for free and it was nobody took me up on it. That was not. I think I had about 3 of us take that down, and it wasn't heavy. It was just big and awkward. And then when we talked on it, the echo going up to it. I got a microphone here, but off the TV screen, the echo off. If you ever go to a big solid dish and talk into it, it's kind of amazing. There's nothing like that. Oh, Dan Pete asked, do they still have G19 channels for rent? I seen a test pattern. It's Pittsburgh.com or something like that. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. So yeah, they'll have bars, space, whatever. And yeah, you call up that company and I guess you can rent the transponder time. A lot of the time what happens is you have a group, let's say a religious organization, that's how the scenarios happen, and they stop paying their satellite bill. Well, they go off the air, and they might still be streaming on Roku or someplace like that. So when they're off the air, they're trying to find someone else to replace it, but it's a hard sell because they're I don't know. It's just I'd be interested if I could afford it, and I did call into LRN.FM, Liberty News Radio, and he kind of indicated to me that he was paying about $500 a month for his audio stream on Galaxy 19. And then there's the Turbo Force man himself, Alex Jones. I pay $20,000 a month for my satellite feed. Apparently. Yeah. Here in Canada, the Lotto Max was $70 million. I was like, I could have a channel with that. Jonathan McKee, you're still using a VHS camera. I sold my VHS camera. I did a video review on my Super VHS camera, and somebody contacted me and said, offered me a generous enough amount for me to say, yeah, sure. Send it to Harlem, New York. It's there now. Thanks. It helps my channel, I guess, because I was able to put that money into my channel. So cool. So yeah, I had a Super VHS video camera, which I shot that Velcro song, I believe, on, or parts of it. Yeah, because I had the shots with the camera at my house, or near my house. And yeah, so that camera, it's gone now, because someone paid me a few $100 for it or whatever. It was really no use to me anymore. I'd rather have something newer and better. Yeah, I do have a few VHS camcorders around. I have my grandfather's old VHS-C camcorder, and I still do have my old Digital 8 camcorder, which was the one I bought in the early 2000s. And I think when I first started doing YouTube, I had a few videos on that, but I wasn't at that time, I wasn't doing technology tutorials. Although if I would have known what I know now, I probably would have started doing tech tutorials, and because I just found that I had a passion for that. So I would continue to be doing tech tutorials, maybe even back then. But maybe I didn't know as much back then. I learned a lot over the years with even doing things in Linux and various things like that. Mark Ferguson asks, is there still a lot of local TV channels on satellite so we can watch news, shows, wrestling? Oh, no. Yeah, there was an era where every transponder on C-band, and even KU band, would be packed, and a lot of it would not be encrypted. So you got like a lot of feeds through that. So I wouldn't say that there's like local channels here in Canada. There's the CTV channels, which I enjoy being a Canadian because I can watch the news in Vancouver, and a lot also you see the same narrative in the stories posted. CTV owned by Bell, but you see the same narrative across the country. But they'll have like stories of what's happened locally in say Vancouver, what's happened in Atlantic Canada, Newfoundland, Labrador, and all that. So, or Nova Scotia, all that area. So CTV has that where you can watch the local news. CTV's there's no wrestling on CTV, but there was like there'll be muxes of like networks like that, and I don't think there's a whole lot. Maybe somebody could shout it out here. Maybe Michael Jarvis. Michael Graves? I don't even know. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Michael? What's his call sign? He has it on his eBay page. That probably was loud. But there is what else would they be for local? There used to be like Texas State News, and that I used to enjoy checking that out. What else was there? There's other things up there. But yeah, for local, the closest thing that I saw, the last channel that would be an independent channel that had wrestling would be AMG. Oh yeah, Mexican wrestling, Lucha Libre, and what's their, not AAA, but it's the big wrestling promotion in Mexico. You can see that on 97 West, C-band. They Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak English very well either. But it's there. It's kind of cool to see. It'd be cool if they had like a button to translate that just to have like something that who would be the commentator for that Ring of Honor guy? Kevin Kelly or somebody. He does New Japan. Although I haven't watched New Japan in a while. Yeah, the only thing is with uploading to YouTube, and I'm finding this to be my problem, is I find YouTube is favoring 4K uploaders more than someone who is uploading in 1080p, which kind of sucks for me because I don't have the budget for a 4K, like a whole lot of 4K equipment, like for 4K monitors, for editing the footage with, and all that. So that's kind of one thing that's I'm finding I'm getting behind. I notice other YouTubers that do upload in 4K and they get a lot more views and they get seen in the algorithm a lot better than what I feel I'm getting. But yeah, and I don't think it's really necessary for me to go 4K because I do tutorials. You don't need to see my tutorials in 4K. You just need to see it in clear enough, so so that you see what's going on. I don't think all the extra pixels, it doesn't matter if they're going to watch it on a monitor. Most of the time, if I'm going to watch a tutorial, I'm watching it on my laptop. My laptop is, I don't have it here, but it's a smaller laptop that I'm using and watching videos on. So yeah, so that to what Jonathan was saying, I don't really put my standard definition 480 stuff. And the interesting thing is my 480 videos, the older videos, I got a few of those videos that have been there 10 years and they only got a couple hundred views. Yeah, I would think so, Patrick, with changing encoding methods. I think with a tuner card, like basically you're streaming a transport stream to VLC or whatever you're sending it to. So you should be able to, like, if it's H.265, I would think that it would be able to decode an H.265 signal, so long as VLC is able to decode it. Hugh Stifler says, is there a way of getting the CTV channels in Hawaii? I do not think the beam for 107 West reaches there. I may be wrong. Website to check any of that information out would be satbeams.com. I don't really look at satbeams.com a whole lot. I usually just go by what tvrosat.com or what Linksat or SatHint will say. If I get it, if it's in my geo area, I'll try to tune it. And plus, you'll see it on the forums. Like, you'll see it on my forum, on Rick's wild feeds, and other places like that. People will post it up, especially if it's a new one. Yeah, gone over. Okay. Mark Ferguson asks, do I get any channels from Ohio? Not that I know of. Not like a NBC or CBS out of Ohio, and there's nothing like that. I wish we did get that, like a lot of backups and stuff like that. I think that would really it would change how. I think that would change the popularity of free to air. I think free to air would be a lot more popular if you did get a lot of the broadcast networks on satellite. But it seems that because of streaming, that's kind of gone away. I think there's more platforms, more TV stations that will stream their content. It's like Sinclair Broadcasting. They do have a satellite feed for Ring of Honor, but a lot of what they use, like for example Comet TV, I think all that's streamed over online via a fiber connection from all the Sinclair broadcast TV stations. I do have a few in my area, like across the lake. I get the I'll get a few I'll get a few of those Sinclair channels. And Sinclair has they have sub channels like Comet TV. They have Charge TV. They have the TV for the internet, people who love the internet channel. I don't get the Stadium channel, but you can get that. You can watch that one on Pluto. Things like that. So if you're in Canada and you can't view Pluto TV, in the link of this description, the description of this video, I will have a link to ExpressVPN if you want to help me by getting a VPN service through ExpressVPN. You can view content outside the States. But I got to talk to Americans about this. What's happening with streaming in the States is there's so many options in the States that's really plucking away from Netflix. But here, the situation that's happening here in Canada is they'll have the rights to a particular show, a movie, and then it'll go to the HBO or something like that, and it won't be on Netflix. It'll be exclusively on another thing. But then in Canada, it's available on Netflix in Canada because there's no equivalent to the streaming provider. So it used to be when I first got Netflix, it sucked in Canada. Like the selection was, a lot of people were using VPNs in Canada to get the American Netflix and view because the selection would be better in the States. But now, from what I understand, I could be wrong on this because I'm not really on Netflix a lot. My daughter watches Netflix. If anyone knows where the Barbie show is for free, we'll switch to that. It is on YouTube, but it's not like the full episodes. Because if I had that on DVD, it'd be, the long run, it'd be cheaper than having Netflix. But I'm going to probably get Disney Plus when the Mandalorian Season 3 comes out. And maybe I'll get YouTube Premium to watch Cobra Kai. Because that was awesome. I watched that on Netflix. I watched the first few episodes when YouTube Red first came out. I was like, oh my gosh, this show is amazing. And I don't watch a lot of TV, but it brings me back to the past. Ron Hawther, is eBay a good place to get a dish and a receiver box? Yes, but please check out my recommendations at freesatellitetv.net, where I have a little store, and I have a selection of dishes and receivers there. Because what I'm seeing on eBay is there's a lot of people selling receivers that are very outdated. If the receiver's brand is like ViewSat or Sonic View, I would stay away from those ones, or CoolSat, because what will happen, they'll sell it to you for $80 and it's not high definition. It's not it's something they used for the dark side of satellite back in 2007-ish. So I'd stay away from those, and people are just selling them because they're not being able to pirate content with it anymore. So I'd stay away from those. Buy like a true free-to-air receiver. I hate having to explain this because of the piracy market, but here we promote true free-to-air. True free-to-air just means that it's the channels that are in the clear, fair game for anyone to get. It's like watching. It's basically the equivalent of over-the-air television with a satellite dish. So with over-the-air television, it's free, although they want to bring in pay TV services, but I don't see that taking off as well with the streaming options. I mean, it would be so small. I don't know if they make money off of it. I know Tyler the Antenna Man did a video recently about the pay TV over the air pay TV services, and I'm skeptical that it will actually work in the long run. And the jury's still out with Orbi TV. Will they be successful? Will they not? I think that if they have like a certain amount of channels that people would want, and for people who live in rural areas, I think Orbi TV can be successful. And I like the fact that they do have the over-the-air option, and they promote over-the-air as an alternative to what their lineup is. So yeah, one thing I would say with Orbi TV, which I said earlier, it would be great if Orbi TV had like 10 to 20 free channels, the networks or something like that, even like, the Dollar Store History Channel or something like that would get people lured in. You can advertise your service, and the movie packages, blah, all that stuff. It'd be great to get a foot in the door for them. Yeah, Jonathan McKee. Yeah, stay away from music, anything mainstream. They don't want you playing it. They want people, the radio stations and all that. YouTube does have a library for Lots of free music. I've used it in my my intro and all that is all from the YouTube library. And then there's people in Indonesia that watch my channel and play my music at the beginning and end of their videos. It's the Indonesian or whatever version of the Happy Satellite Nerd. But yeah, YouTube has got to be the #1 streaming service out there. In my opinion, YouTube has YouTube/movies, and there's lots of content there. I've even when YouTube Red came out, I was very tempted to get that service. It's just because of my channel. I like seeing what ads play in my videos because it's hilarious. Like when I'm doing a video about how to do free to air satellite or cord cutting, they run an ad of the cable company. So there's a cable company telling you, we're the cable company, we're great, they don't say we're gonna charge you $100 a month. But we're going to charge you a bunch of money to get the service, and it's great. It's going to be the best thing ever, you know, with the way they talk in the ad. Patrick asks, will LinkSat ever change their website design? I hope not. For the reason why I just love the vintage look. It looks exactly like how it did in the early 2000s. Except they have the digital, they label the digital stuff. Oh yes, for games, eh? So I imagine for games, YouTube would copyright strike stuff like that, and it's just the algorithm. In a lot of ways, it's YouTube covering their behinds. That's why a lot of that goes on with the copyright strikes, the limited to certain advertisers stuff that they do. There's no George Carlin on HBO. That would be on Netflix. I guess that would be on in the States, the American version, but not on. Oh yeah, because of guess who? Probably Bell, right? Am I right? Or Hell? I've seen the logo of Bell redone. Bell and HBO have a deal. WWE and Rogers have a 10-year, well, it was a 10-year deal. I don't know how many years they're into it for streaming. So Canada really got the end of the stick with the WWE network. You have to have cable. Well, at first it was just on Rogers, so Toronto, Ottawa got it. But you had to have cable. You can get it on Shaw and all of them now, but you have to have cable or satellite to get the WWE network in Canada. In the UK, you can just watch it online, so you can have nothing. You know, it's $9.99 a month, but here it's like $14 or whatever it is, which, whatever. Still cheaper than a $30, $60 pay-per-view per view, you know. Mr. Frank, he asks, the C-band still have, is it dead in North America? The answer to that is no. There's several channels, and I do have a video on my channel, a long video where I go through all the channels. You can check that out, or you can go to linksat.com or go to tvrosat.com, and you'll see a chart, and it just lists all the free channels that are on C-band. So check that out. Do a little research on it. It's great. And I have a lot of people contacting me. They've had a C-band dish in their yard for 20 years not being used. Get an Amoco receiver from Mr. Michael Graves. Or yeah, go get an Amoco mini receiver. Plug it into it. Now you might plug it in and only get your vertical transponders. You might have like one of those old LMBs. Check out at my store. I have a link to LMBs. You can order one of those LMBs and watch all that good content for free. watch all the CTV channels. Watch the Weather Network in Canada. What else is there? There's a few other things there that went away. There used to be the AMI channel, which had like movies and stuff, and you had the audio option. So I had like the voice over, but if you switch the audio options, it would just have like the regular audio without the visual impairment narration stuff. Well, if it says you need a 450 millimeter dish, then that's probably what you're going to need. Hawaii is so far out in the middle of the ocean too, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this live stream up, and we'll chat again. And I keep saying I don't know until like later on in the week if I'm going to live stream or not. This weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving. So we don't have Black Friday here. It's just Canadian Thanksgiving, where I wonder what that's going to be like in the States this year. So yeah, we have Thanksgiving, although it's social distancing Thanksgiving, so like they've encouraged people not to have all the gatherings and stuff, so we're just having a turkey at home this weekend. But anyway, so next week I'm not sure what's going on. If I do take a break, it'll be like a week or two break, and I'll put it up next Saturday, 1 p.m. live stream. I haven't done Twitch yet, although I should probably with this camera do a test on Twitch. Excuse me. Okay. So I guess we're gonna wrap this up. Oh, so thanks so much for watching, guys. This doorbell camera here with the background going. I like to save money. My microphone costs $2. Gotta love thrift stores. Although I do have the brightness switched around here. It's just me figuring out how to adjust the brightness in the cameras. I do love the fact that I can see what's going on with the cameras with the remote. And then zoom in and configure all the settings. Like this guy here, I can. Where is it? Oh, bring it up there. Menu. Oh, it's not gonna show it. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, check out my channel. What I always suggest, because I got a lot of people ask me questions, and if you do have a question, sometimes I send a link to you because I've done a video on it. So what I end up doing is I go to my channel or go to YouTube. I type my name in and I type in what I'm looking for. And usually when I type my name in with quotations in my name, Robbie Strike, I'm able to find a lot of the videos that answer a lot of the questions. So that's a good way of searching it out over on YouTube. So hopefully that can help you out if you do have a C-band dish in the backyard and you want to use it again. Or just live stream. I mean, I've been doing quite a few videos on the live streaming, and that's a great option. But I do know there's people, like especially who come to my channel, they're in rural areas, and they're probably viewing this in 200p, 240p or whatever. I understand, because it's when you live in the country, it's internet connectivity is not great everywhere. Now, hopefully Starlink will be available to the public, and hopefully it'll be a reasonable priced internet. service for people who live in rural areas. And that could totally be a game changer. Who knows how that would affect satellite feeds when, if you can get Starlink and watch Pluto TV, and with Starlink, would the ISP know which region you're in? Or did it just know that you're in a jet? Well, it would know which part, I guess, of your region, but it wouldn't necessarily know which where your border was, unless Starlink threw out your IP address. I don't know. But would you still be able to go through a VPN using Starlink? It'd be questions we will someday know when the system is in place. Did I Ottawa Octane? Did I ever live there? Yeah, I used to live in Ottawa, and then now I live here in Kingston, and just it's way more easier and affordable to live here than it is in Ottawa. Ottawa is very. I like Toronto and areas like that, but now, like, look at New York City. People are trying to get out of New York City. It used to be like there was an actual vacancy stuff. So that's interesting. What's happening around the world? The interesting times right now. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Happy Columbus Day to my American friends that celebrate Columbus Day. And yeah, we'll have a great time there. And please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell notifications. Hopefully the bell notifications would help you to know when the live stream is on. I do post on my Robbie Strike videos Facebook page when I'm going to be doing the next live stream. So if you haven't liked and followed that, if you're on Facebook, check that out. And I'm going to cut it out here, I guess. Been a couple hours, but no, I usually like to go an hour, but I went an hour and a half today. Whatever. Whatever. You know what? Can I get a copyright strike if I perform it live? I don't know. I was thinking of doing that, a parody, so I'd like to know that, if anyone can answer that for me. Bye. All right, let's turn this stream off here. Oh yeah, go do the ending, the outro. Wow, here. No. Yeah. There. Cut to this, guys, and later. Please check out freesatellitetv.net. And also check out the new shop where you can order free satellite TV, LMBs, receivers, and dishes. All sorts of things for your free-to-air needs over at the freesatellitetv.net shop. If you want to watch a streaming service and you're in a country like Canada, certain programs are region blocked so you can't get it, you can use ExpressVPN if you have a cell phone. So if you use public Wi-Fi, you tell it which area you want to connect to in New York City, connect. So if you're using public Wi-Fi at Walmart, a restaurant, you really should be using a VPN. It will protect your private data, and also it saves you a lot of money. It's a fraction of the cost of what a cell phone data plan is these days. Please check out my YouTube channel, Robbie Strike, and check out all the technology videos and reviews that I've done covering satellite, free-to-air, cell phone, how to do stuff in Linux, how to do stuff in shortwave and old technology, and doing neato things with computers. So please check out my YouTube channel, Robbie Strike, and check out all the technology videos and reviews that I've done covering satellite, free to air, cell phone, how to